Well, I was always sort of, or at least in hindsight, why did they use the creature stage? I mean, I'm sure it was a money issue. They didn't want to go out and they didn't know if that was going to fly or not, so they probably didn't want to sink a lot of money into a new stage. But I wouldn't think that they would still have the tank. You think they would have just scaled back to a regular stage?
You know
So,
that this is just me speculating, but it's like at that point, maybe that was something they didn't think about taking the makeup off in the new album because it's like, what kind of theme could you go with based on what the look at the album cover and it was just kind of like whoa, like how can you really theme a stage off of
well,
that
I
per
heard
se?
that Paul, I'd heard that Paul wanted to take the makeup off before Creatures came out, and Gene didn't want to do it.
Hmm.
So I don't know how that would have played out.
Indeed.
Ladies and gentlemen, Savannah Royster. But so yeah, I was wondering, how close to the actual start of the tour or even the release of the album that MTV thing aired. I don't know the date off the top of my head, but I'm just kind of
Google
curious.
says September 18th.
September 18th was when that aired.
Yeah.
Oh, so we're talking what, 3 months basically before, and then whenever the record must have came out in what, October.
Probably.
So that was kind of their theme back then, was October releases.
Well, like on Kissology, they said the first I don't know which they were in Lisbon, Portugal on
Yeah.
Kissology, and they did that show without makeup, but they were booked to do it with makeup. And the fans didn't know ahead of time that they were going to have, that they weren't wearing the makeup till they came out. So it's almost like it was a snap decision in some ways because the tour was booked. It wasn't booked as an unmasked thing, not as far as without makeup, not the unmasked tour.
Right.
Yeah, 'cause I believe that a lot of the ads for the Lick It Up dates, at least the early part, are pictures of them in the, like the Creatures outfits and all that. So a lot of people at the time probably thought or didn't know, and the promoters probably didn't know at the time that they weren't going to be wearing the makeup and costumes because it was such a, look at it. It was only 3 months prior to the tour. So, and I'm sure they had the tour booked a lot longer ahead before 3 months. There's a lot of all that stuff that goes into the planning and preparations. But
Well, it's funny because when I think about Kiss and now compared to nowadays, it's like, okay, you had 79 was Dynasty, and 80 was Unmasked, and 81 was The Elder, and 82 was Creatures of the Night, and 83 was Lick It Up, and 84 was Animalize. And it was just like bam, bam, bam. And every single one of those albums and tours and looks were completely different. Musical styles and everything. And I just, it's really odd because I can't think of another band right off that was doing that. I mean, can you think of another band that was just putting out albums like that and they were that completely different?
not. I mean, even in the '70s when they were putting out 2 albums a year and how different those were. And
Right.
was it after Animalize when it finally started taking breaks? Like
I think, was it 85 or 86 when Asylum came out? 86 maybe?
I'm thinking that was '86, and then
Nights was 87, and then Smashes and Thrashes was 88, and Hot in the Shade was 89.
yeah, so it was sort of yeah.
I mean, they were giving themselves a little bit of a break here and there, but what was it? Revenge was in 92. After that, I sort of lose track.
Yeah, because after that, I think it wasn't anything like an actual studio album until Carnival and then Psycho. So you're
Yeah,
talking at least 5 years. Not counting Unplugged or anything like that, because that technically wouldn't. We all know, but so I do want to follow up with something that we talked about a few weeks ago. It finally arrived in the mail a couple days ago. Talked about the Robert Conti My Kiss story. This is the teaser pack we were talking about. Comes with the back issue. I'll show all the stuff here, but number 19 of 300 is what I got. and I chose the blue envelope for Ace. I guess you can actually choose red, purple, or green also if you wanted to. But again, robertvconti.com. Not sure if any of these are left over or not. Also go to studiochikara.com. So let me get this thing open here. Alright, so first thing here we have it's a 10-page unedited excerpt of the upcoming book, Mike History. This is June 28th, 96, Tiger Stadium, Detroit, Michigan. Obviously the opening of the reunion tour. Again, he signed and numbered it at the bottom. Haven't read this yet, going to real soon, but you know, again, it's just an unedited chapter of the book that's coming out. Can't wait to get into this. He also just included a few, you know, personal items. Probably should have had all this stuff open already, but luckily it's not them Blake sleeve things, huh? Included a KISS trading card, and then just like a random card actually from that trivia game that I have. And then there's an older like merchandise catalog and advertisement for those Destroyer model figures that came out a while back, or these might actually be just the actual statue type figures. Kiss Years, which that's a great book. Okay, and then so then here you got the full page ad again for the upcoming book. Again, Mike History coming in 2019. So again, we got a whole another year or so to wait for this book. True story of a lifelong fan, how he got the dream job, working as the band's first catalog consultant, packed with photos, art, text, and more. Includes exclusive graphic novel, special limited edition version available. And then on the other side, this is the what was considered the Vinny related item. It's a nice kind of artwork picture of Vinny. And Robert had mentioned that he was originally planning on being at the Atlanta Expo, and that this is what he was going to have with him as sort of a surprise. So obviously, with Vinny being there, this was, you know, with the idea of getting him signed by Vinny, which I could definitely see would look really cool with the signature on there. And the last thing, of course, is the back issue magazine, number 101. You know, this has it talks about those KISS comic books, the Marvel comics, and includes, let me find it here, talks about some of the unreleased third issue that they were supposed to put out. It has, you know, some of the pages from that in here. So yeah, definitely looking forward to getting into all this stuff. Yeah, here it is. This is artwork from what that was supposed to be. So yeah, very cool magazine. This is my first time ever seeing this magazine, but it's really cool. I wouldn't mind trying to get some more, or even checking out some back issues. So yeah, that's it, man. But again, $20 you get all that stuff from Robert. It's very cool that he did that. I appreciate it. So again, go to Robert's website. Not sure if any of that stuff's available, but for $20 you can't beat it. Everything, you know, as far as those personal items, everybody gets something different. So it doesn't mean, you know, if you get one, it doesn't mean there's just going to be cards in there. It could be something completely different, a CD or who knows what. So definitely.
Wonder why that third one was unreleased. Do you know?
Don't know. It probably gives all the story in here. I just haven't got around to reading it yet with Christmas and everything.
So was he the guy that did the first two and the third one?
No, Robert Conti was the first catalog consultant. So like he had a big part when all those remastered CDs came out. He was kind of the head of all that,
Okay.
getting all that put together and putting those the stories that were in the CD tray, like doing all that stuff.
Okay. I knew the name, and I was trying to place where I knew the name from. Was it a,
Oh wow! Just saw a cool picture in here. Check this out.
Nice.
And then Superman here. Yeah, everybody, go on over to Three Sides of the Coin. I mean, if you listen to this show, I'm sure you listen to them. If you don't, I don't know why you don't. But Robert was recently on there, and he talks a lot more in depth about all this stuff. So, and he was a past guest on there. So I think on the first appearance that he did, he talked more in depth about what he actually did with all the remastered stuff. But yeah, I definitely need to read this more and find out all the story about it, and I can definitely follow up or something about it. But yeah, they kind of talk about all the different comics too, like all the different Psycho Circus and all that stuff. And you even have a David Cassidy comic. Partridge Family. So yeah, again, really cool. Again, $20. Go to robertvconti.com and get a copy, man. It's definitely worth for all that stuff. I'm looking forward to reading that excerpt, the chapter from the upcoming book, since we have, like I say, it's going to be quite a while till the book comes anyway. So it's something good to pass the time. Plus the Kiss of Life Forever reprint that I had ordered. They should be shipping here in a couple weeks, from what I understand, sometime in January. So excited to finally get that too. Take a look at it. I'll share it on here too, I guess.
did you order that from the actual the guy, or did you order from Amazon? So I didn't know if they had them on Amazon.
I did it through the what the hell's that called?
They had a website for it, didn't they?
Yes, it's where is my bookmarks bar?
I should know that, but I don't remember what it was.
Pledgemusic.com, that's what it is.
That's
You go there. You can pick either the autographed version or non-autographed version. Pay for it right there, and then they'll give you updates on the page of what's going on. Especially when it's comes time for shipping and everything, they'll do that. There's another Kiss book on there. The one I think I brought it up where the guy used to hang out with the band and get drunk with Eric, all that kind of stuff. He's
which
what's that?
which Eric?
Car.
Eric.
And this is called Kiss Classified. And this guy is overseas, but a really cool looking book. Over 600 never before seen photos. So I'm planning on ordering this pretty soon too. Not sure when that's looking to be shipped. Doesn't really give any updates on this yet. Yeah, once again, just to recap, this guy, Johan Kihlberg, was president of the Sweden Kiss Army for 10 years. He hung out in the studio with Gene and Paul, got drunk with Eric Carr, performed with Vinnie Vincent, and was tour manager for Bruce Kulick. And he scolded Ace Frehley. So this is supposed to have, actually this says over 750 never before seen photos and unpublished interviews with Kiss. So definitely looking forward to get that. Actually, Bruce, he gave his stamp of approval on the book. He did a little video recently where he had a copy. So definitely plan on ordering it out too. The Kiss Forever Grants book, just go to the Pledge Music site. And then, again, Robert Conti. again, I'm not sure if he has any left, but it's definitely worth looking to, and I would definitely recommend getting it. There's some left.
Well, one of the books that I've been wanting to get, it's on my wish list on Amazon, is this one. I know you probably Odyssey.
Oh, yep, that's another one. That's another one I want to get. Yep.
Yeah, I really want to get that, and I'm not sure if that is if it just goes into the description of the making of the album or what. I haven't actually heard it.
It's probably both. Julian Gill's real good at doing those in-depth books. I know, like, he did the one about the 4 solo albums. I want to get that one too.
Oh, okay. I remember hearing about those.
There's so many. Like, right now I'm reading that Shout It Out Loud book about the whole making of Destroyer and everything. I have to take a small break from it because it gets kind of long-winded at times, and sometimes I feel like it trails off a little bit. And I actually kind of skipped through the book a little bit to finally get to the point of when they actually start getting into the studio to make the album, because there's parts where they talk about everything Bob Ezrin did with Alice Cooper and all that. And, that's cool, but I wasn't really interested in that right now. Like, I want to read about what it was like in the studio making Destroyer, all that stuff. And so now I'm into that, so it's getting to be a lot harder to put down. A lot of reading to do, but yeah, there's still a couple Kiss books I want to get, and one on the way eventually, and then that other one I want to order. So,
well, hopefully you'll have all those read before Paul's next book comes out.
Probably not, but Ace was supposed to have another book too, from what I understand.
Oh, really?
Apparently he remembered a lot more stuff, so might get more detail. All right, so kind of something that popped in my head after last week's episode when we were talking about all the Hall of Fame stuff. I wanted to sort of piggyback a little bit, and it may be another subject that gets kind of discussed a lot, but the whole Kiss thing, we know how that went down, what ended up happening with the 4 of them going in. But with Bon Jovi, from what I understand now, they're going to include their original bass player from the early days of the band, and all these so there we go again. You got Kiss where they only let the 4 guys in, but then you got Bon Jovi where they're letting all these other guys that were from the past, and like Paul always says, Grateful Dead, all 80 members of Grateful Dead are in there.
They're even the guy that replaced Alec Van Such as a bass player wasn't a permanent member, wasn't considered an official member of Bon Jovi, and he'd been in the band for I think 20 plus years, and he's no longer in the band. I don't know who's playing bass now, but he's going to be inducted too.
There you go.
He wasn't even an official member according to them.
And then the guy that's taken Richie's spot the last few years or however long, I'm sure he's going to go in too.
Probably.
So again, it's like how is it fair for one band but not the other? How, why are they?
Well, my opinion is, it's obvious that they have their favorites, and this might not be it, but okay, Bruce Springsteen got everybody that was ever involved with Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band and they were probably the first ones inducted into the very first induction. He's from New Jersey. Bon Jovi's from New Jersey. I don't know if there's any connection there, but they have their favorites. It's like Rolling Stone magazine type thing.
Absolutely true. On a side note, it's funny you mentioned Bruce Springsteen, and we joked about him a few weeks ago. Well, then a little story just popped up the other day about Gene and Bruce Springsteen.
Yeah, I seen that.
I thought, how ironic.
I didn't read it, but I seen that. It's like, that's weird.
Something about one of his old songs, I guess, sounded like I Was Made for Loving You or something.
Yeah. And it might be
old.
Huh?
I never heard.
Question was from like 2009 or something.
Oh, okay. Well, see, I don't follow Bruce enough to know.
Yeah, now I want to hear the song though, because
yeah.
So they're saying that a Bruce song that was released later was ripping off I Was Made for Loving You. Is that basically what it is?
And basically Gene was saying they saved his career by not going after him for that, because they could have, obviously, and they didn't. So I guess in a way Gene's kind of in a roundabout way saying that they could have ended Bruce Springsteen, so to speak, had they have brought him down for that one song.
Oh, I just, in my head, I hear Bruce Springsteen singing "I Was Made for Loving You," and I just, that something's wrong with that picture. I'm sure it's not to that extreme.
Well, that's part of it too, because like I hear, of all things, it sounds like I'm thinking of a Bruce Springsteen song that has a disco sort of sound to it. I'm like, what? I got to hear this. So I got to look up what that song's called again, and then.
Yeah, because "I Was Made for Loving You" was, from what I understand, everything I've read about it, Paul was writing it as a disco song. It was never anything intended to be anything other than a disco song. So I don't know how any Bruce Springsteen anything can be related to that.
Yeah.
Unless just like chord changes or something.
Yeah, I mean, the closest thing he's ever had to a dance song is probably "Dancing in the Dark." And, that's arguable. But, Paul, yeah, I mean, he knew what was going on at the time, and that, he was even starting to hang out at Studio 54 a lot, and so he kind of knew where the times were at the moment as far as music, and nobody expected it to last as long as it did as far as disco. An old interview with Peter just popped up on YouTube from right around the solo album time, and he was talking about that, and he even said himself, like, yeah, we didn't expect disco to be around as long as it has already. And I think it probably even lasted another couple years after that even.
And that leads me to another question is, there's a disco mix of Dirty Livin'.
Yeah.
And was that a single or was that a B-side?
That was a 12-inch release, single.
Were they trying to push that as an actual... the next single? Because I know Sure Know Something I thought was the second single. I wonder how it became a disco mix. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How did that even come about?
I could be wrong, but I think Dirty Livin' was the B-side to "I Was Made for Loving You," like the disco mix also. Because they released that 12-inch that had the disco mix of both versions, or both songs.
I do have that. I should look at it and see. I don't know.
I want to say that's what it is, the B-side, and both of them are the disco versions. Oh, of course he knows right where that one is.
Yeah, I know.
I just looked up that article too, and I found a little minute-long comparison video of the Springsteen song "Next I Was Made for Loving You."
Yeah.
That'll be kind of curious. Basically, Gene said in that article, the only reason we didn't sue Springsteen is because we like him.
And screw it, play a little bit. I'm sure it'll pick up on here and get a little idea of what it sounds like.
He was born a little baby on the Appalachian Trail.
Oh, yeah.
At 6 months old, he done 3 months in jail.
I don't know why that would be sue-worthy.
It's the same melody.
Right.
He robbed the bank in his diapers and his little bare baby feet.
Oh, yeah, I could totally see that.
Yeah, I can hear that.
That's weird. I'm surprised anybody made that connection. I mean, I'm sure that melody's in 100 other songs, too.
Yeah, I mean...
It's not the same beat or the same chord progression behind it, so I don't know why...
I mean, even the melody, though, is,
I can't actually get that record out because the record's in front of it, but the other side of it is Charisma.
Ah, okay. That's right.
So I guess maybe Dirty Livin' was its own maxi single or whatever. I don't know. I have to look that up.
Now, I know there was a Mexican release of the single, because I recall a specific guy, playing that record on YouTube of the single of it. So maybe that's what I was thinking of.
Well, with that Bruce Springsteen song, does it say who the writers and co-writers of that song is?
I don't know.
Was it because did Bruce write his own stuff? I don't know. I don't know nothing about him really.
I'm guessing that most of it he writes, but I think little Steven helps him write a lot too.
Because that song "Blinded by the Light" is a Bruce Springsteen song. Yeah,
true. And he doesn't even get the most acknowledgement for his version. It's the Manfred Mann version. Right. Kind of funny.
For years and years, I didn't know that it was Bruce.
Yeah, I didn't either. I didn't either. Do you have your Alive 2 misprint in there too?
Mm-hmm.
You should take a picture of that because there's on one of those Kiss vinyl pages on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
They're running like a. It's kind of a. I don't know what you call it. I don't know. A system or a directory is what I'm trying to say. Of how many of those copies are out there in the United States and who all owns one. So
really?
So everybody's like posted a picture of theirs and all that stuff. So you should really do that to chime one in on that.
What's it on again?
I'll have to double check for you, but I know it's on one of the Kiss vinyl Facebook pages. I'll have to double check which one.
Yeah, side note here, the album says all songs written by Bruce Springsteen.
Wow.
Also, that song is 8 minutes long. Holy
Jesus.
crap.
It's the disco mix.
I don't know if I can stand to listen to that for 8 minutes the way that sounds. There it is. Wow.
Nice.
And where'd you say you found that?
At a flea market, I think it was, or I want to say it was a flea market in Columbus, and it's the second pressing, which I thought was, well, I don't know if it's second pressing because this one was never on a blue label, right?
No.
And it's not in the greatest of shape. The records are decent, and it has the original sleeves with it. So
The cover doesn't look that bad. I mean, at least the back part.
Yeah, it's just coming loose a little bit, but it's not
I mean,
much.
the back cover, which is, in my opinion, would probably be the most, the biggest part of that since it shows the track listing. I mean,
Right,
that looks nice.
The records itself, that's never been printed on there.
I don't know, every time I'm at a record store or wherever, and if I see...
I always look,
Yeah.
and I already have one, and I still look.
I know, as soon as I see it, I'm like flipping it, looking at the back, like hoping...
Shape, I mean, the
Yeah.
side here is sort of coming through there, but
But still,
that's
I
no
mean...
big deal to me, considering what I'd heard that there was only 500 of these. I
Yeah.
don't know if that's even accurate.
Well, see, that's the thing. I think that's what they originally said, but it's come to find out there's a lot more out there, and that's one reason these guys are kind of doing a little database or whatever on
Do you
there.
remember how much I said I paid for this?
I don't recall.
I want to say $2, but I don't remember.
Oh my
if
god!
that's right or not.
Wow.
Like even in that condition, I'm just saying in general, if you were to ever want to sell it, whatever, you'd probably get close to at least $100 out of that, no matter even the condition, because it's sought after. And
Well, according to that Kiss price guide, the last one that came out, I didn't know about it, and it was listed in there, and it's like, okay, well, I'm just going to go look, and I had it because I have like 3 copies of Kiss Alive 2, and I looked, and it's like, I can't believe I have this. Because it was like the highest priced one in there. I think 500. They say it can go up to $500, or I don't know if that's accurate.
yeah,
But anyway, it was the highest. Other than a bootleg, it was the highest priced one.
well, it's like that first pressing of the first album without Kissing Time. I didn't know I had that, and then to be honest, I didn't even realize that there was a version of that without it. I always thought it was the way the album was. That's the way it always was when I had it. Even when I was younger.
Yeah.
And I saw somebody doing a video, and it wasn't all that long after I had bought that one from Omega, and I paid $3 for it, and I saw that guy's video, and I was like, I'll just look just to make sure. I'm sure it's just the regular. And I looked, and I'm like, are you kidding me? And I paid $3 for this thing. Like, wow. I still want to land a white label promo. That's one of my top of my list things that I'd like to get, but oh god, those are pricey.
Well, I would like to have that, and this is an official release, that Elder one with the poster.
Oh god, yeah.
Did you say you paid for that, or you have that?
Well, I have the pressing, but it doesn't have the poster with it. But I do have that pressing.
And the poster is what you were saying, that the live cover I think Luke was saying that the live cover should be that, like Killers, the way that looked.
Yeah, it's basically that picture, and there's actually two different posters. One is the basic photo, but the other one is reversed, so Paul's star is on the wrong side. And man, finding one of those with the poster or just the poster itself has been like looking for a damn needle in a haystack. Literally, like I've tried. Like I even asked around on one of the Facebook groups a while back, and there was a guy that had it, but I couldn't really get him to try to make any sort of deal, or because I think he had like two of them. I'm like, come on, let me know what you want, like just for that poster. But
Yeah, if I can find a record, I know he can. Because I know where my Kiss records are. I don't know where anything else is. He's got his all together too, so must be a Kiss thing.
so yeah, we got two copies of Elder. Which one? I think it's this one. Yeah, it is this one. It's really weird. Cause it's not a gatefold. It's just single. And then the actual inner sleeve is what the gatefold is.
Huh.
And then it doesn't even have that custom label like the usual ones that's just on that Casablanca.
It is weird.
And that's made where? What country?
I believe this is Norway, Norwegian. But yeah, trying to find. It's a 24 by 16 poster.
That set of posters that I went on and on about from '79.
Oh yeah,
But it's not, from the way this looks, it's not the whole set. I mean, it is the whole set, but it's all on one poster,
oh
which I'd never seen that. But
yeah, it's still pretty cool. But
But
85
that's
bucks.
yeah, that's the exact posters that I had. Yeah, 85.
So the poster in that picture is obviously the inverted one. Plus the sleeves kind of flimsy like those, usually are. But yeah, I mean, then the usual American copy with the sleeve and all that, and then the gatefold.
Apparently, there's all kinds of variations of that inner sleeve.
Yeah. Yeah, I need to.
Now, those two Elder ones that you have, is the song listing the correct order or the incorrect order? Or is it shaped like the Love Gun penis?
Well, actually, they both have different track listing orders. Like this one, the American one is Fanfare, Just a Boy, Odyssey, Only You, Under the Rose, Dark Light, World Without Heroes, The Oath, Mr. Blackwell, and I.
Which is the chronological story order.
But it's missing Escape from the Island.
So that's strange.
But then,
Is it on the album?
that's a good question.
Or is that a misprint?
Yeah, Escape from the Island's on here, but it's not
Wow.
listed on the album or the jacket.
That's weird.
But then the Norwegian one here, it's The Oath, Fanfare, Just a Boy, Dark Light, Only You, Under the Rose, World Without Heroes, Mr. Blackwell, Escape from the Island, Odyssey, and I. Very different.
I remember reading that they did that so that they had the two singles starting each side of the record, hoping that would make it flow better.
Oh.
But yeah, let's put out a concept album, and as if it wasn't already hard enough to tell what's going on in the story, we'll just say screw all of that anyway.
How, and this is coming from someone that I have obviously no clue about, how do they bootleg posters like they do T-shirts and albums?
I'm sure they do. Like, a lot of them posters on eBay, like, you gotta watch, because some of them are just reprints or, trying to pass them for the original.
I mean, I would be okay with a reprint just to hang on the wall, because I'm not much into the collector's part of it, and mainly because I wouldn't be able to afford probably an original of something.
Right.
But I mean, if I know it's not if I know it's a reprint, and they're telling me it's a reprint, and I can afford it, I mean, seems like that'd be a mutual thing. That it's it's not like they're trying to rip you off. In other words,
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if they say right there in the description, whatever, that this is a reprint, yeah, fine. But some of them people, they'll try to pass it off. Oh, this is an original, and
like with some of those posters that comes with magazines, that we've got in the past or whatever. This is so stupid for me to even ask this, but how are those made? Because who owns those pictures? Because like some of those books, and you'd showed one the other day, there was a couple from The Elder, there was a couple from I think Animal Eyes, Creature, whatever, and it's like it was all different. So if the magazine itself owns those pictures, or I mean, how's it work? I wonder. I've always been curious about where that stuff comes from.
I would think it's more the photographer that owns those photos, and Kiss probably has a bit of a say so in it, like what those would be used for.
Because I wonder if it's the same as like with video and audio. Is it that are they that restricted on it, or you know what I mean?
Right. I don't think, I don't know, I'm guessing, but I don't think it's as tight as what the video and audio side of things would be.
It doesn't seem to be.
I mean, again, as long as you're not really trying to sell it per se, like, throwing together some unofficial book with pictures in it, and because even using the logo, as we know, can be a big no-no right there.
Yeah, that's not something we do in our podcast.
No, not at all. But we're not monetized. We're not trying to sell anything, so it's all right.
I'm trying to sell something.
What are you trying to sell?
But I don't do the podcast on the street corner, so I guess I'm not. I have quite a few Kiss 8-tracks because some of them I had from the actual, time that I got them, and then my cousin had got rid of all hers and gave them to me, and that's where the Elder one came from.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's definitely collectible.
Yeah, when I seen those, it's like I'm going through them. It's like, oh my God, Kiss 8-tracks, and when I got to the Elder, it's like, what? I didn't even never thought about an Elder 8-track. It just and the same thing when I first ran across the album. Whenever I found the album for the first time, it's like me and some other guy was out record shopping, and I think we were in Cincinnati, and we went to this little record store. I don't even know the name of it now, and I think he found the Elder there, and that was the first time I'd ever seen it on vinyl, and I about died because he found it first, and then a little bit later I'd found it somewhere else, but it was the same kind of reaction.
Wow. Do you remember back when they used to make those little bubblegum record things? Mm-hmm. Actually, the guy at Trader's World has some outside. But I remember my dad had a stack of them, and I remember he had the Kiss Unmasked one. And I used to just look at that one all the time, and I remember the smell of the gum still. And I wish I still had that, from his stuff.
Wonder if those are on eBay.
They probably are. And that dude at Trader's World, he's even got the display thing that they used to originally come in. Like that's.
Is that the guy that's outside that has all the Kiss stuff?
Yeah. That guy's got some cool stuff, man. But I can't remember what they're called right offhand, but I always remember, I used to just sit and look at those all the time, and then I always remembered that Kiss one, and the smell of that bubble gum,
Or how many Kiss albums they did?
Not sure, like, what the whole collection, if I recall, like, I think there was, like, a Rush one in there, and Blondie, and Beatles, just weird stuff, but, I can see that stuff being collectible. Like, it would probably work today.
Well, was it Everybody's Records that had that unmasked cube?
Yes. And then,
Still have that?
The next time I went in there, I didn't see it. So I don't know if they ended up selling it, but that would have been something to get.
They have those dolls back there behind the counter.
Yeah, and they will not sell them. I asked them. But yeah, that Unmasked Cube, like, I didn't even want to ask because I figured, okay, I know the dolls aren't for sale. And then I go back in and it's gone. So whether somebody bought it or it got damaged, hopefully it didn't. But that right there, you know, and that's something else. Like, I don't really have any, like, the promo. Well, I don't think I have any period of any, like, promo materials for the albums. And that's something I would like to try to start collecting a little bit. But a lot of that stuff is just so pricey, especially those, you know, the 70s stuff. And
Well, I finally found a Elder era poster, and it's a German poster. Apparently, it's on eBay.
oh yeah, that's basically the same image, just a little different with the logo.
It's not flipped.
And that's the right one, yeah.
It's only look. The price is not too bad.
Oh, it's a magazine centerfold.
Yeah, apparently.
So it's
So
yeah.
for $10, I mean that'd be cool just to have that.
Yeah, I mean at this point, like you were saying with reprints, I would be happy just to have a reprint of that poster, just to be able
Right.
to put it in my vinyl. And you know, if I ever did find the real one, hell yeah, I'd be all over it. But yeah, that's always kind of at the top of my list, and then the white label promo of the first album, and you know, a couple other rare like things, you know, here and there. And, you know, the bootleg stuff. There's just so much now. It's like run across whatever one, if it sounds cool or looks cool, pick it up. You know. Okay.
All right.
Hey, we're back. Had a little technical issues there on Luke's end, but we're good. So on that note, we're just going to go ahead and jump into trivia for this week.
Might as well jump.
Ow. So, once again, it is Luke against the Grandmaster Champion Branton.
Which is amazing that I know anything.
And I'll ask you again, as I did last week. Has Kat watched the episode yet?
No, we haven't watched anything. We're too busy watching Big Bang Theory. We're on season 5.
No, you're too busy watching her VC videos.
No, actually, we haven't watched those in a while either. We're behind on everything. We was watching a lot of Christmas movies and stuff.
Yeah, I got you. All right, so again, Luke Branton this week. It may be a little more than 20 this week because I kind of got a little hodgepodge pulled up here, and then a couple of questions I'm going to pull out of this old magazine. So we'll see what it comes to.
Hodgepodge. They sell that at the craft store, don't they?
So when Branton's back,
Let her rip, sister.
there he is.
There he ain't.
All right. Question 1 for Branton. And again, some of these may be a tad easy, but then I think it's going to get a little harder as we progress. So, first question. Who played drums on most of the album Psycho Circus?
Well, the obvious thing for me to say is Peter Criss, but that's not the correct answer. I don't know. I'll say Peter Criss. I know that's not right.
No. Luke, you want to take a shot?
Kevin Valentine.
That is correct. All right, question 2 for Luke. Who performed with Kiss on The Voice in 2016?
Oh.
Yes,
Watch that.
by the way, this first handful or so isn't multiple choice, but the next set will be.
Crap, man! I just watched that the other day too, and the name is escaping me. Nope. No, I got nothing on that one.
Branton?
Sundance Head.
Very good. I didn't even know that.
The only reason I know is because during the performance, Gene says Sundance when it's time for him to sing. And
Oh,
I got to find out what this guy's last name is so I can look up his other music, see what he sounds like.
it's Head.
So yeah, it's Head.
Okay, so question 3 for Branton, right? How did I already get mixed up on that? Who played drums on the album Dynasty?
Anton Fig.
Correct. All right, Luke. Who did Kiss tour America with in 2003?
Aerosmith.
Correct. Branton, what song did Paul Stanley sing for a movie in 1987?
Shocker.
Correct.
I was going to say the Folgers commercial, but
Okay, so we'll move on to... So this next group here will be back to multiple choice. So we're on Luke. Alright, lifelong horror film fan Gene Simmons made an unusual contribution to the Benicio del Toro film The Wolfman. What did the demon do? Did he help apply Benicio's makeup for an episode of Gene Simmons' Family Jewels? His tongue was digitally photographed for use in the character. He recorded howls for the soundtrack. Or he was one of the Wolfman's victims in a scene that was later deleted.
I'm not sure on that one. I'll take a shot in the dark there.
That's Ozzy.
Yeah, right. I do have a Guitar Gods version of that song where Bruce Kulick plays guitar. That's interesting.
Sweet.
I'm going to say he recorded howls for the soundtrack.
Correct.
and Ozzy was a werewolf on Bark at the Moon video. Yes.
All right, Branton. Paul Stanley was one of the first kids in his high school to wear long hair, which he used to cover up what physical deformity? A large red birthmark on the back of his neck, a scar on his scalp from a bicycling accident, a malformed ear he had from birth, or a bald patch on his temple caused by a childhood virus.
The malformed ear.
Oh, shit. Yes, correct.
And you know, it's funny because I have a red birthmark on the back of my neck.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
And I have a bald patch caused by a childhood virus.
Well, there you go. On your scrotum.
Oh, my God.
You don't have to talk about my God like that.
Okay, Luke. In 1979, now this is a arguable question, by the way, but in 1979, Peter Criss appeared without his makeup on the back cover of an album by which fictional rock band for whom he played drums? Was it the New Monkees, Lenny and the Squigtones, Josie and the Pussycats, or the European Kiss parody band French Kiss?
I do vaguely remember that.
We actually did talk about that on the show. Not all
Yeah.
that long ago.
What was the first? Actually, just give me the answers again.
The New Monkees, Lenny and the Squigtones, Josie and the Pussycats, or the European Kiss parody band French Kiss?
I'm feeling like it was Josie and the Pussycats.
That's incorrect.
Ah.
Branton?
It was an album I seen at half price not too long ago, Lenny and the Squigtones.
That is correct.
Darn it. I guess it said fictional. I should have taken that.
Too bad it wasn't all the above.
Ming the Merce? That is still like a debated thing, though. Like, I don't.
Well, after looking at the picture, I mean, you don't know what he looked like without the makeup. And what year was that? 79.
Yes,
So I don't think it's him, but
I really don't either.
there's that little bit of
I think it looks more like Michael McDonald than it.
Well, that raises another question. Did Michael McDonald play Peter Criss in Kiss all those years?
Yes. He played him in the Phantom.
Yeah.
That's it. Because Peter wouldn't show up to do his lines, so they had to get Michael McDonald's voice.
All right, so we're at Branton 5, Luke 3. Question 9. This is for Luke. Or is it? Branton.
No, it should. Yeah,
Branton.
it should be Branton.
Ace Frehley scored the biggest hit from the 4 Kiss solo albums with his cover of New York Groove. Who first recorded the song? Was it Landmark, Hello, Sweetwater, or Spirit?
Hello.
Very good. Is it me you're looking for?
I'd like to hear Lionel Richie do New York Groove.
Oh, God. This is horrible. Luke. In 2007, 1 minute of a sex tape featuring Gene Simmons was leaked online. While Dr. Love was making his house call, what song was playing in the background? Was it Show Me the Way by Peter Frampton, Dust in the Wind by Kansas, I Want to Know What Love Is by Foreigner, or Come Sail Away by Styx? And unfortunately, we recently talked about this too.
Yeah. I actually watched a bit of that the other day, but I didn't have the sound on, so.
Oh, God. And I even mentioned the song when we talked about it, I think,
I
last
remember you mentioning that, but I don't remember which song you said.
week.
Okay, what were the answers again?
Show Me the Way by Peter Frampton, Dust in the Wind by Kansas, I Want to Know What Love Is by Foreigner, Come Sail Away by Styx.
I'm going to go with I Want to Know What Love Is.
That is correct. Actually, the correct answer was Firestarter from Asshole.
I watched that video specifically because there's no way that's him. There's no way that's him. So I watched it until his face came in, and I was like, oh, no. No.
Well, does anyone know how that got recorded? I mean, where was the camera? Is that like a private hotel? They're not allowed to have cameras in a hotel room, so
The chick, the girl might have set it up, undercover for some reason, probably trying to blackmail him or something.
it got out there, didn't it?
All I gotta say is, as much as he talks and builds himself up as this super sex addict, he sure doesn't perform that well, in my opinion. Okay, Branton. Paul Stanley wasn't always Kiss's star child. What was his original makeup design? A pair of stars covering both eyes, a pair of black diamonds covering both eyes, a raccoon-like mask covering both eyes, or a pair of upside-down hearts covering both eyes?
The raccoon.
Raccoon.
We're just talking about that, too.
Exactly. This is weird. Go ahead. Okay, Luke. A 1989 rumor, later proven untrue, claimed that Peter Criss was homeless and living on the streets of Los Angeles. After starting a campaign to rescue him, what notorious comedy pair found the homeless man who falsely claimed that he was Peter Criss? Was it Roseanne Barr and Tom Arnold, Emo Phillips and Judy Tenuta, Penn and Teller, or Cheech and Chong?
That's some good answers there.
Yeah.
Good choices.
I'm feeling like that was Roseanne, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Another thing we were just talking about.
Yeah, if you watch that clip of the Donahue show that they were on, they interviewed Tom Arnold, and He's all hopped up on coke and.
No, watch that again. I ain't
Yeah.
seen it in a time.
It's pretty funny, and then Peter comes out talking to that guy. Why'd you do it, man? What was you thinking?
You think he got paid for that?
Oh yeah. I heard that he either helped the guy out a little bit later, or he like completely almost kicked his ass.
Okay, now I have a question. You think he got paid as much as Eric Carr did for coming out and doing Kids Are People Too?
I don't know. Because Eric was probably pretty much forced to do that under contract.
Right. He was never Kiss then, and Peter wasn't, so I'm assuming his check would have been bigger. I mean, I don't know.
Right.
Because that was around wasn't that around the same time period?
I believe so, yeah. Well,
Or it could have been later, I'm not sure.
no, Kids Are People 2 was 80, wasn't it?
That was 1980.
So this was, what, 89 it said?
10 years, yeah.
Yeah.
Was it that late?
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking it was earlier in there for some reason.
Yeah, this is when Peter had the big blonde hair, spiked, teased up hair. And
Right. Kept that on the reunion tour.
he could have been, then he would have been portraying Eric Singer. Where are we at, Luke?
No.
Branton? Branton.
Yeah.
Ace Frehley missed the recording of Sweet Pain because he was all in on another activity. What was he doing? He was with his family waiting for the birth of his first nephew. He was, ironically enough, having root canal surgery. He was at an In-N-Out Burger because he forgot about the session. Or he was at a poker game.
Well, I thought he got fired by Gino and Paulie so Luke could join. Instead of Vinnie Vincent.
That's the true answer. yeah.
That is correct. That's bonus points.
I was getting ready to say that, so I didn't pay attention to what the answers were. What were they again?
He was with his family waiting on the birth of his nephew.
No.
He was, ironically enough, having root canal surgery.
No.
He was at an In-N-Out Burger because he forgot about the session.
No.
Or he was at a poker game.
Poker game.
Poker face?
I wish
That is
In-N-Out.
correct.
That's far funnier.
I know. Or even a root canal.
Yeah.
Or both.
So yes, poker game was correct.
And now root canal place.
Luke. In 2008, former Queens, New York grade school teacher Gene Simmons won $500,000 for the Elizabeth Glaser Pediatric AIDS Foundation on what TV game show? Deal or No Deal? Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? The Celebrity Apprentice? Or Jeopardy?
I say The Celebrity Apprentice.
That is incorrect. Branton, do you want to take a guess?
What was the last answer?
Jeopardy?
That's also Jeopardy.
That's also incorrect. It's Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader?
I didn't remember he was on that.
Alright, so Branton. Paul Stanley made his star turn in a 1999 production of Phantom of the Opera. In what city was the production staged? New York City, Toronto, London, or Berlin?
Well, I'll go ahead and say New York, but I don't know if that's right.
That is incorrect. Luke?
I'm going to say London.
Also incorrect. Answer is Toronto.
I was going to say that, but I just, since he's from New York, I'm sure it has to be New York. Wrong.
Alright, Luke. When Peter Criss joined the band, he shortened his last name from Chris Cola. What is Peter's real first name? Is it Michael, Stephen, George, or Peter?
George.
Correct.
Oh, I was going to say Ringo.
Thank God he decided to go with Peter.
George Chris.
Just doesn't have the same ring.
George Chris. So right now we're at Branton 8, Luke 6. So could be a comeback here. Branton, Ace Frehley appeared in costume and makeup in a television commercial for what company? Starbucks, McDonald's, Dunkin' Donuts, or TGI Fridays?
The answer is Dunkin' Donuts.
Final answer?
Yes.
That is correct. Ow.
And if you've noticed, in that commercial, he doesn't have his, whatever those armbands are called, he doesn't have those on for some reason.
That is, yeah, true.
I don't know, maybe he lost them.
Okay, so we're at 17 questions, so 3 more to go here. Gotta pull these out of the magazine.
Pull it out.
Pull it out, stretch it out.
No, don't stretch it out.
Alright, who we on? Luke?
Yep.
Alright. Now, on this list here, I have 7 bands, but I want you to name 5 bands that Kiss has opened for.
Oh boy.
No.
Oh.
I think we broke him.
Broke his Wi-Fi.
Again. Am I gone again?
Huh?
Am I gone again?
No.
Oh, okay.
Just waiting for you to... You got any guess?
Oh, I actually didn't even hear anything. I must have screened out there for a second.
Oh, jeez. I said...
Yeah.
I said, on the list here, I have 7 bands. I want you to name 5 bands that Kiss has opened for.
Okay. Let's see. Blue Oyster Cult. Oh, geez. See, they opened for Aerosmith at one point, didn't they?
Technically, but I think this is more, like the early days, like before they hit it big.
Right, right. Oh, boy. Bob Seger.
Yes. No, wait, I'm sorry, that's incorrect.
Ah,
He opened for Kiss.
okay. Yeah, you're right. I was picturing a flyer there. Yeah.
Brandon, you want to take a shot?
Other than Blue Oyster Cult, I really don't know.
Yeah. That's far harder than I would have expected.
So we got Manfred Mann, Savoy Brown, REO Speedwagon, Focus, T-Rex, and ZZ Top.
I would have never got all that.
Yep, no hope of any of that.
It seems like the Savoy Brown, I might have heard that, but other than that, I haven't heard any of those. And I would have never remembered Savoy Brown.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty tough. So I've got... Okay, we got another list. We're going to go a little bit over time with this, but not much. So, let me double check this real quick. What are you doing?
I'm freezing!
I don't have a coat or blankets. I guess I'll just have to use tissues.
He has to toilet paper himself.
All right.
So there will be, I got about 8 or 9 more questions here. We'll just go with that. We're still at Branton 9, Luke 6. And we will start with Branton because that was Luke's the last one, right?
Right.
All right. Branton. Which band member quoted in a 2007 interview saying, "I had to be there to keep the Kiss ship floating all those years because no one else wanted to," in regards to his bandmates' lack of dedication?
Multiple choice or not?
Oh.
Is it?
Hang on. Sorry.
Bob.
Okay.
Rick Danger, Bruce Springsteen.
Your choices are Ace Frehley, Gene Simmons, Paul Stanley, or Tommy Thayer.
Well, a lot of people say Vinnie Vincent saved Kiss, but I say Tommy Thayer saved Kiss, but that's not my answer. My answer is Paul Stanley.
That is correct. All right, Luke. Who attempted to stab Gene Simmons on the 1979 Dynasty Tour? Was it Peter Criss, Angus Young from AC/DC, Paul Stanley, or Ace Frehley?
Probably all of them.
Yeah. Probably all of them, yeah. I'm feeling like that was probably Peter.
That is correct.
He seems like the stabby type.
He just being a gang.
Yeah, true.
You got a lot of guns, I guess.
Branton, who co-wrote Let's Put the X in Sex with Paul Stanley for the 1988 Smashes, Thrashes, and Hits album? Was it Steven Tyler of Aerosmith, Gene Simmons, Desmond Child, or George Michael?
Desmond Child.
Correct.
I didn't actually know that. I don't think I've ever heard anyone co-writing, but I mean that specific song. I just know that Paul did write with him a lot. Or he wrote with Paul. How would you say that?
I would say he wrote with Paul. All right, Luke. Who is the first band member out of the 10 members Kiss has had over the years to have been shot by a gun? Was it Peter Criss, Bruce Kulick, Vinnie Vincent, or Ace Frehley?
Well, we know it wasn't Bruce.
We were talking about that.
Yeah. What were the others again? I'm sorry.
Peter Criss. Where'd it go? Peter Criss, Vinnie Vincent, Ace Frehley.
And I thought it would have been.
That is incorrect. Branton, do you want to take a shot?
Well, I'll just say the next obvious because I would have said Peter too, but I'll just say Ace.
It's also incorrect. Now, according to this, it does say Bruce.
Huh.
Really?
This says Bruce was shot in the right leg by a gunman with a 9mm pistol in October of 2003 outside of the Rainbow Bar and Grill in Hollywood. He was not the intended target, and reports say a bullet grazed his head as well.
Weird.
Very. Okay, Branton. Who became the band's manager on the 1996 reunion tour? Was it Bill Aucoin, Doc McGee, Bill Graham, or Neil Bogart?
Doc McGee.
Doc.
You're killing me.
All right, Luke. What company produces the synthetic blood Gene Simmons uses during Kiss shows? Is it Procter & Gamble, Novelty Inc., Johnson & Johnson, or 3M?
We're Tampax.
I'm not sure I've ever heard this one. This is going to be a shot in the dark here.
Ozzy.
I'm going to say Procter & Gamble.
That's incorrect. Branton, do you want to take a shot?
What was the next three?
Uh,
Three.
Novelty Inc., Johnson & Johnson, or 3M?
Novelty Inc.
That's also incorrect. The answer is 3M.
Oh.
Tape and
Well,
blood.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
gonna say, I thought they made tape.
All sorts of like safety products. That's weird.
Yeah.
That's in there. Yeah.
Okay. This is going to be a bit of a softball, but this is for Branton. What was Eric Carr's original makeup design supposed to be before the band chose to go with the fox? Was it the hawk, the wolf, the elk, or the warrior?
Did you say the Hulk?
Yes.
The Hulk, like it'd be the Hawk, yes.
Hawk, yes. Hulk Hogan.
I wish. Imagine he comes out as Hulk Hogan, he's the wrestler, drummer. That'd be awesome. Tear his shirt off, Great.
Well, at that, once again, Branton reigns supreme.
Yes.
How close was that?
The final score was 13-7.
Good God. I gotta say though, those last set of questions for Branton, I totally knew most of. So it's like, I don't know how I got the unlucky end of the stick.
I thought it'd be closer than that. I thought it was closer.
He's on fire again.
He is.
No, I'm not. I'm freezing.
I didn't feel like making up any certificates for you, though, so don't worry. We'll let Luke do that again next week. All right, Branton wins again. So we'll see if the streak continues next week, huh?
Streaking's illegal.
Or if the streak just stays in his underwear. We'll see.
I'm just like Gene Simmons. I don't wear underwear.
Ooh.
I just wear leather pants.
Ah.
And he wants to know what love is.
That's why I'm a fire starter.
Oh, God.
At least you don't look like a sheep.
Not yet. Working on that.
All right, then. We're going to wrap this up. Again, share with us your Christmas gifts if you got any. Podcast Rock City, get a hold of us. Let's do a collab pretty soon. That would be awesome. So, as always, comment on the episode. Subscribe, like the Facebook page. Please help spread the word. So, again, so Happy New Year to everyone for this week. So, as always, it'll be after the New Year come next week by the time we do this. So, everyone be safe, be smart, all that good stuff. So, unfortunately, Kiss won't be playing Rockin' New Year's Eve this year, but maybe it'll happen one of these years, right?
That'll probably happen before they do another Macy's Day Parade.
Oh, God, I hope so. All right, so that's coming up and getting that much closer to the Atlanta Expo, so really excited. All right, everyone. See you next week. Thanks for watching.